Hi guys, and welcome to yet another video. Today is the fourth day in a row. I am obviously tired, but I am used to this. I love to work all my shifts back to back because there's that sort of continuity of care, especially when it comes to the same patients that I get to have. And so I am excited because today is going to be the fourth day in a row, and then I get to have, I think, 4 days off or 3 days off, and then I'll be back. And so guys, let's go to the ninth floor and see what this shift tonight promises to look like. I hope that is going to be an amazing shift. Like I always say, I try to stay positive, I try to be open-minded, but yet to assume that anything can happen. So guys, let's go to the floor and see what this shift is gonna look like. I'll see you guys on the floor. Hey guys, at this point I was done getting report on all 3 of my patients, and so I was looking up at the computer to get more information with regards to why the patient is in the hospital, what has been done so far, looking up medications that I will be passing this night shift, and maybe just looking at what I will have to do. Maybe do I need to send labs, do I need to prep the patient for procedure tomorrow, do I need to keep the patient NPO, just digging in more information regarding the patient. So like I said, I love to always write all my medications for my patients, because if the system should go down or if something should happen that I cannot have access to the system, at least I have an idea as to what medications my patients will be having. So I've gathered all my information and I'm good to go. So guys, I'm done getting reports for my patients. I decided to just briefly take a sneak peek at what happened during day shift for my patients, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty calm shift. I hope. It is still 7:45, so I'm still way ahead of the game for the night shift. We all have 3 patients for now, so each and every one of us will be getting an admission tonight. So I have the same patient, but like I said, I'll be expecting a new patient. So I looked up the report or the notes, and I see there's pretty much no changes. One of my patients was 2 of my patients who were supposed to be having a procedure or surgery today, they got pushed to tomorrow. So definitely tonight will have to be NPO. I have a couple of insulins and IV antibiotics to give tonight. Expecting my new patient. So I'll go out there, since it's not yet time, to start pulling out my meds and start documenting some things that I can start documenting, like care and safety, or falls and IVs and all of that, or pretty much maybe just looking into more notes. But I already have or know what is going on with the patients, since I've had them for the past 3 nights, and today is my 4th night. So nothing new about the patients that I don't know yet. So I'll just go out there and kind of start my shift. So tonight we don't have a tech, so I'm going to go ahead and start checking my blood sugars. Usually when we don't have a tech, the charge nurse helps out, but today I decided to step in and start my shift. Okay guys, it is 8:30. It's time for me to start pulling out my medications. Tonight we don't have a tech, so the charge nurse is doing her vital signs, or she is validating her vital signs, and I just had to get ahead of her and check my blood sugars. So one of my patients will be getting insulin because blood sugar tonight is 164 and the other one is 273, and we'll be getting one miserable life-saving Coke tonight. So I have an antibiotic and medication for BPH for one of my patients. Then I'll be giving them their tube or their bolus tube feed. The other one is going to be getting the 1 unit of insulin, and the other one is going to be getting, I think, IV protonics. So I'm starting with just 3 patients at this time, and sometime during the night shift my 4th patient is going to be coming on. So time to pull out medications. Let's get started. Okay.
Attention, please, attention. Substance alert. ER 84. Substance alert. ER 84. Attention, please, attention.
Okay. Okay, guys, so my new patient who got here is pretty confused and potassium is on the low side, 2.6. Patient is also here for seizures. I have given them their Keppra, started them on their NS or continuous fluids. So it's been a back and forth conversation with the provider in terms of replacing the potassium. And the big problem right now is the patient's orientation. The patient is currently oriented to self. And so we've been going back and forth if it's even safe for the patient to get oral medications, but I just tried a bedside swallow and the patient passed without coughing. He drank his water fine without coughing. So it's a go from the provider to go ahead and replace their potassium with an oral potassium pill. So I'm here now to pull out the potassium medication for the patient and hopefully nothing happens. So let's put this medication for the patient. Let's stay in bed, okay? Okay guys, so I've had a couple of interruptions, and so I'm not yet done with my 8 o'clock shift assessment documentations from patients calling for help with number 1 and number 2, for patients calling for their sleep medications, pain medications, water, just trying to get comfortable before they go to sleep. And then I got my new patient confused, needs a seater, but we don't have a seater available. Patient just got their Ativan, reaching out to the provider for a potassium replacement, which was never replaced since day shift, for potassium 2.6. And we've been going back and forth to know if the patient is even stable or safe to get any oral medications. So turns out the patient can swallow safely, but I needed to kind of make sure that the patient was fully awake, because the patient is currently oriented just to self. So that has been sorted. I've given them their potassium and I've given their Ativan. And now I'm going to document my shift assessment, which is obviously going to coincide with my midnight reassessment documentation. The other nurses also received their own new patient admissions, and so I had to help with that. So it's just been a couple of interruptions, which is the reason why I still haven't finished my shift assessment documentation at this time. So it is 11:45 p.m. Definitely I will do my shift assessment as well as my midnight assessment. After that, I will be coming back for my lunch break. So I just came to give you guys an update as to how my shift is going so far. Looks like it's going to be a quiet one. Hopefully my confused patient doesn't actively try to get out of bed and fall, because they need a seater but we don't have a seater for them. And yeah guys, let's see how the night rolls out. I'll be going out there to continue my documentation. See you guys on the other side. Hey guys, so I'm done with my shift assessment chatting as well as my midnight chatting, and I'm now in the break room for my lunch break. So pretty much all my patients are stable at this time. The provider came to see my new patient. I had to give my patient scheduled 2 milligram Ativan. So when the provider came to see the patient, he said the patient looks very drowsy and he's going to reduce the Ativan to 1 milligram, which is what the patient gets at home. So after the provider left, he's reduced the patient's Ativan to 1 milligram. Every other person is stable at this point. So this is just me, and I want you guys to let me know in the comment section. I love to always take my lunch break in the break room, and before I always do that, I always make sure that I check on all my patients. I make sure that if they need any pain medicine, if they need help with number 1 or number 2, they're comfortable, maybe any extra blankets or anything of that sort, I quickly take care of it before I leave. And before I leave the unit or the floor, I always make sure to tell the charge nurse, hey, I've checked on all my people. This person is a DNR, this one is full code, this one doesn't, this one needs pain medicine but pain medicine has been administered, or this one gets pain medicine but pain medicine is due at so and so time. So I always like to make sure I set eyes on all my patients, the ones who are trying to jump out of the bed, I make sure that the bed alarm is on, and make sure to relay that to the charge nurse. So I always love to check on my patient before I walk out of the unit. Some other nurses eat in the nurses station, but I feel very uncomfortable, and I like my privacy when I'm having my break. Well, sometimes people walk in here, we can sit and eat. I can eat to others here in the break room, but I love to eat out of the nurses station because I don't want interruptions from maybe the phlebotomist, the respiratory therapist, maybe the provider, maybe the react team or something. So I always like to have my uninterrupted lunch break. So that's just me. I know that it's different for day shift as compared to night shift. Night shift, we don't have administrators around, so we can tend to get away with certain things, especially eating the nurses station. But for night shift, I prefer to always eat in the break room as opposed to eating the nurses station. So my food is currently in the microwave right now, and once that is heated up, I'll take it out, get my break, and 30 minutes uninterrupted break, and that will be it. I got my good juice here. This is citrus ginger zest. I love this because apparently I feel like it's filled with vitamin C. So I've been loving this so much, and I get this from Sprouts. Very good. So guys, I think my food is ready, it's warm enough, and I'll quickly take my break, and I'll go out there to check up on my patients and continue my documentation. I know this looks like a lot. Trust me, I know I won't be able to finish this, but let's dig in and see where this gets me at. So this is me at my lunch break, and this is some boiled potatoes and some stew with vegetables and some fried fish. Time to dig in. See you guys. Okay guys, so I'm done with my 4 o'clock assessment documentation. So it's time for me to pull out my 4 o'clock medications, but one of my patients has lab draws that I have to draw from their central line. So I'm here to gather my supplies, draw the blood before I administer the antibiotics. So I'm here in the supply room stroke medication room to gather my supplies to go pull out to go do my lab draws. So I have patient ticket over here. So let's do this. I'm going to use this to flush. Once the NS goes into the IV, I use the same one to pull out the blood, which is going to be my waste. Then I use the 20cc to pull out the blood. Then I use the needle and this to transfer the specimen into the vials. And then I label and I put in the specimen back and send it to the lab through the tube system. So let's go draw this blood, but first let's pull out the patient's medications. So here are my lab samples of the blood from the patient. Here with the labels, I'm going to stick them to the tube, put them in the bag, and send them down to the lab through the tube system. Okay guys, it is 5 a.m. on the dot. It's time for me to start pulling out my 6 o'clock medications. Honestly, only one patient has medication for 6 o'clock, and that's going to be the patient's Ativan as well as something else. So I'm going to pull out this medication, go give it to the patient, and then I'm going to go start cutting my teeth and dotting my eyes in terms of putting in my eyes and O's and finishing my care and safety, basically documenting that you rounded or you were checking your patients every 2 hours. And then yeah, I'm just going to update my report, my bedside report shift for the next shift, and it's going to be a go from here. So time to pull out medications. Let's do it.